The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TVWAN News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, departmental heads warned. New bed species discovered. And PNG-RFL Academy set to expand. Prime Minister James Marape has directed stronger enforcement measures across the public service following the release of a briefing showing this widespread failure by government agencies and provincial governments to submit their mandatory 2025 annual performance reports. The Prime Minister said the findings were concerning. He said complacency had no place in a modern, accountable public service.
Prime Minister James Marape has issued a stern warning to all heads of government departments and agencies that failure to submit their mandatory 2025 annual performance report will result in them losing their jobs. He said annual performance reporting was a legal obligation under Section 22 of the PM and NEC Act 2020. And formed one of the most important accountability mechanisms through which Parliament, government and the people of Papua New Guinea assessed the performance of public institutions.
Over half of department heads have not reported. Just on funds, but tomorrow I'll be asking all of them to leave their offices. You kissing money, you must report. When I'm working, report the size of the money you kiss.
The Prime Minister further stressed that agencies that consistently ignored their reporting obligations undermined public confidence in government institutions and weakened the country's governance framework.
We've had a culture of no report and just work and ask. So sometimes at our 50th, and this is work done by the 50th Reset Committee. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sometimes we have to take the bull by the horn as we try to go into the 50th. Nothing against personalities, but to finding a structure that allows for work to happen at the earliest.
He said while some sectors had demonstrated encouraging levels of compliance, the overall results remain unacceptable. He said the briefing prepared by Chief Secretary to the government, Ivan Pomaleu, highlighted legacy issues affecting compliance across the government. These included non-compliance with statutory reporting obligations, political interference that delays reporting, administrative bottlenecks, overlapping institutional mandates, inadequate funding for monitoring and evaluation, and the diversion of resources away from statutory responsibilities. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
A balanced and forward plan that identifies practical actions to strengthen transparency and governance is important to ensure resource projects deliver fair benefits to all stakeholders. This was highlighted during a presentation on the third day of PNG Resource Week in Port Moresby today by key integrity commissions in the country.
Good governance and transparency in the extractive industry remains major concerns in Papua New Guinea, particularly in the management of revenue and benefits from resource projects. Speaking during the presentation, Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, PNG Executive Director George Cowley said information and data relating to resource projects must be made public to ensure transparency and accountability.
So EITI standard calls for regular reporting to ensure the public sees how resource wealth is managed. basically the trust of what we stand for. What we do is public disclosure of what transpires within the extractive sector. At the end of the day, the resources belong to the people, and so it is the right to know what happens within the extractive sector.
Kauli said the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative is a global recognized standard that promotes transparency, accountability, and good governance in countries with mining, oil, and gas industries. He said PNG's sub-national reporting for mining, oil, and gas remains unclear. While national revenue flows are well documented by the PNG, EITI, sub-national data or payment to landowners, impacted communities, and provincial governments is largely non-existent, inconsistent, or too aggregated to be meaningful. Meanwhile, Kauli also called for greater sub-national reporting to help build trust with local communities and increase investors' confidence in PNG's extractive sector. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
Transparency International PNG Board Chairman Peter Aichi has urged resource beneficiaries in Papua New Guinea to use resource benefits responsibly, with consideration for the needs of future generations. Aichi said once extractive resources and other natural resources are depleted, they take time to replenish. Therefore, current beneficiaries must manage resource wealth carefully and wisely. He said one of TIPNG's core responsibilities under his chairmanship is to raise awareness among resource-affected communities, especially those in areas where mining and other extractive activities take place, so people can make informed decisions for their future.
Once you cut it down, once you exploit it from the sea, it takes time to replenish. So as a result, the wealth or the revenues that we collect are really finite. And so for all of us as a generation that enjoys the benefits of these resources, we must also be mindful that what are we leaving for the future generations? What will we leave for the future generations? After all the gold is gone, after all the oil is harvested, after all the gas has been sold, what do we have?
Mobilizing climate finance should not always be at the international level, but the national level as well. Climate Change Development Authority Acting Managing Director Deborah Sungi says it is not about making money, but to create a carbon-neutral society by 2050.
At the 2026 PNG Resources Week yesterday, Acting Managing Director of the Climate Change Development Authority, Deborah Sungi, stated that when discussions focus on mobilizing climate finance, individuals often consider large financial mechanisms like the Green Climate Fund and overlook other existing and accessible financial instruments to enhance opportunities. These include the Adaptation Fund, the Loss and Damage Finance, and the National Development Bank. Mobilizing climate finance involves directing public, private, and alternative resources to facilitate mitigation and adaptation efforts aimed at combating global climate change.
Mobilizing climate finance not only at international level, but also domestically as well, as we have gone ahead through our Climate Change Management Act to establish mechanisms such as the taxes and the non-taxes as well, that as a regulating agency, it enables us to partake. It is not because we want to make money for the government. That has to be clear. It is because we have to ensure that we establish legislative obligations for us when you are in the crux of having to develop a country that has aspirations, very big aspirations in the mining industry, in the oil and gas industry, yet also on the other hand, government's aspiration to be a carbon neutral society by 2050 and 50% by 2030.
Sungi reaffirmed that CCDA has been working to strengthen the governance framework and legislative framework to ensure that set obligations have to be legislated to drive the government's agenda in building climate-resilient communities. Mason Lewis, TV1 News.
TISA Group, in the third day of the 2026 PNG Resources Week, in a presentation highlighted the discourse surrounding resources and energy development has focused on engineering, geology and extraction quantities, which is the rationale behind inadequate capital investments in resource initiatives.
TISA Group Chief Executive Officer Michael Koisen says Papua New Guinea must align with the global economic focus on speed, sustainability, and inclusive growth if it is to maximize the benefits of the resource sector. Speaking at the PNG Resources Week today, Koisen said attracting investment for major resource projects depend on the country's ability to efficiently mobilize capital and meet evolving international standards.
The reality of modern global economics dictates a different focus. It dictates that we focus on the speed, sustainability, and inclusivity of our resource growth. These things are entirely dependent on our ability to mobilize capital efficiently. Finance is not merely a tool for transactional lubrication. Rather, finance is the foundational catalyst required to translate subsurface wealth into permanent onshore economic sovereignty. To mobilize finance effectively under current global circumstances, we must first accurately diagnose the emerging economic trends dictating international capital flows.
Koisen also stressed the growing importance of environmental, social, and governance standards, commonly known as ESG, as well as decarbonization measures. He said these factors are key considerations for international lenders and investors when assessing whether to finance resource development. Koisen highlighted the need for PNG to build sustainable and inclusive projects that can attract global capital. Mason Lewis, TVWAN News.
Scientists and researchers, including a biodiversity team member from ExxonMobil PNG, discovered a new species of bird called the hooded jewel warbler. This is the first bird species to be described and published since the country's independence. It was formally described and named published late last year.
The new bird species, called a hooded jewel babbler with the scientific name Tiloroa uricea, was discovered by scientists and researchers, including a biodiversity team member from ExxonMobil PNG. Is a ground-dwelling bird with a distinctive black mask, white throat, and vibrant plumage, known to inhabit the rugged landscape between Mount Bosavi and Mount Karimui in the Southern Highlands. Phelan Tiki, an environment, climate, and regulatory engineer from ExxonMobil PNG Limited, shared this during her presentation on biodiversity initiative during the PNG Resource Week.
The formal recognition and publication of the hooded jewel warbler. This is particularly significant because it is the first new bird species to be formally described in PNG since independence nearly 50 years ago. It reminds us that even in a country renowned for its biodiversity, there is still so much to learn and celebrate.
This is the first bird species to be formally described and published since the country's independence. It was formally described and named published late 2025.
Conservation is not only about species and ecosystems. It is about people. People depend on the environment and land for their livelihoods. Just less than 10% of land in PNG is state-owned. Approximately 97% of the land is customary owned. Customary land is land that is collectively owned by clans or tribes, which are the social divisions in a traditional society consisting of families or communities linked by social, economic, religious, or blood ties with a common culture and dialect. And the land is managed under traditional customs and practices. It is passed down through generations and is not registered under the formal land tenure system, unless voluntarily done so by the landowners. So for more than a decade, ExxonMobil PNG has maintained ongoing consultation and engagement directly with the customary landowners within our project area communities. This is spanning over 100 clans across Kikori, Lake Kutubu, and parts of Hela province.
ExxonMobil's 10-year biodiversity implementation and monitoring program has seen the contribution of the biodiversity discovery in recent history. This is the first bird of paradise species to be formally described and published since the country's independence.
This is TVWAN News. After the break, investors urged to support healthcare services and PM tables MRDC reports in Parliament.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Toks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
What a game this has been. With a minute to go, it all comes down to this.
And here they come. They go wide. Passes to Becky. He juggles. Kicks it. Who will get there? Will Cara, he's over. What a try. Oh, the emotions are flowing. Jubilation, ecstasy. What a game.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, let me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, na mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, P&G and Mia. Find P&G made.
P&G's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in P&G. Proudly Goldspot.
Tambo true lonkarim o salim na simokin. Marijuana or all drugs no good ikam lo overseas or some cocaine or crystal meth. Nupla law or likolim Controlled Substances Act 2021 by making sawe lo you lo baim court fine enough money mark enough lo 2 million kina or go life year calabus. This la talk sawe ikam long National Narcotics Bureau. One time Halivin, Bilam Australia, Papua New Guinea Law Na Justice Partnership.
Hey P&G, get ready to brush to the beat for Colgate National Toothbrushing Day. Brush to the beat with over 480,000 registered participants this year nationwide. Brush your teeth for 2 minutes twice a day and remember to change your toothbrush every 3 months. Head over to the Colgate Pacific P&G Facebook page for more info or drop a comment and tell us a song we can brush to the beat with. Get brushing this National Toothbrushing Day with Colgate.
Welcome back. Investors in Papua New Guinea have been urged to continue supporting healthcare services in resource-affected communities to ensure long-term health and well-being beyond the lifespan of resource projects. This is part of giving back to resource-affected communities and its surrounding areas, especially in the remote areas where access to adequate health services is limited.
Speaking yesterday at the PNG Resource Week, Kokora Trek Foundation Chief Executive Officer Dr. Genevieve Nelson said primary healthcare remains essential for communities impacted by resource developments. Drawing on years of experience working in remote areas, Dr. Nelson said 3 key observations on improving health, safety, and well-being in resource-affected communities. Dr. Nelson said the workforce shortages, transport barriers, limited infrastructure, and inconsistent medical supplies are some of the healthcare challenges. He said investment in healthcare by the resource sector complements government efforts and helps strengthen health services in remote and rural communities. Dr. Nelson highlighted the organization's Healthy Communities program, which has recorded more than 160,000 patient presentations and supported over 65,000 childhood immunizations. The program has improved access to antenatal care, supervised deliveries, postnatal care, and family planning services, contributing to better health outcomes for communities across the country. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
The Operation Open Heart Foundation has revealed in a presentation in the 2026 PNG Resource Week that it has saved the lives of more than 2,000 Papua New Guineans since it began in 1993. The charity work to save lives has been in support through the support of key corporate partners, including Air Niugini, Bank South Pacific, Sir Brian Bell Foundation, and ExxonMobil.
Youth with a Mission's Operation Open Heart representative Belinda Gura made the announcement during a presentation that Operation Open Heart Foundation has saved the lives of more than 2,000 Papua New Guineans since it began in 1993. She said the figure only includes patients who have undergone heart surgery and does not include those who received treatment through the program and recovered to live normal, healthy lives.
The Operation Open Heart Foundation has been saving lives for more than 3 decades. We have saved over 2,000 plus men, women, and children from normal heart surgeries to very complex cases since 1993 at the Port Moresby General Hospital. These numbers only represent those who have undergone surgery and not counting the ones who have received treatment as a result of our program and have recovered.
Gras said the foundation's work focuses on 4 key areas: open heart surgical missions, the foundation's flagship program, which has been operating for more than 3 decades. She said the program has grown from bringing large overseas medical teams and equipment to Port Moresby General Hospital to now having smaller teams as a local doctor are able to perform heart surgeries in Papua New Guinea, patient screening and follow-up, ensuring patients receive ongoing care before and after surgery, training and development, supporting the training of specialist cardiac clinicians, including an interventional cardiologist, patient outcome data management, an area where ExxonMobil PNG has helped improve the foundation's ability to collect and manage patients' data. Gura thanked ExxonMobil PNG for its continued support, saying the company's contribution since 2024 has significantly strengthened the foundation's operations and improved the way patient data is compiled and managed. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
Valuable medical supplies are on the way to Lae thanks to the collaborative efforts involving the Australian government through the Consulate General in Lae, Rotary Australian repurposing equipment, Rotary volunteers, logistic partners and supporters in Australia. The shipment contains medical consumables including gowns, hospital linen and essential hospital supplies that will support healthcare delivery through Lutheran Health Services in PNG. An initial 40-foot container was packed by volunteers at the Rare Norton Region facility in Queensland this month and is scheduled to arrive in Lae at the start of August on a Royal Australian Navy ship. The Floating Book Fair, Doulos Hope received a rousing welcome from the Munum Sing Sing Group from Huon Gulf District as it arrived at the Lae Main Wharf today. After its official opening tomorrow morning, the vessel will be open to the public.
Rain clouds gave way to a glorious weather in Lae today, a fitting backdrop for Doulos Hope as it arrived at the Lae Main Wharf to a rousing welcome from members of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG and the Sing Sing Group from Munum. This is Doulos Hope's first visit to Lae. Many may still remember a visit by its predecessor, MV Doulos, who had visited in January 2008. Doulos Hope's representative, Madelina Reynaldo, who has been in the province for a few weeks now to prepare for the ship's arrival, said after the official opening tomorrow morning, the public will be allowed to board.
Actually open tomorrow at 1 p.m. open for all the visitors. The gate will be open for the visitors. Pay on the spot, 5 kina everyone except children 12 and under and adults 65 over. And you can come and see our cook fair and meet all the crew members. We have around 100 people from 35 different nationalities.
The vessel will be in lay from July 16th to August 2nd, 2026. Its opening hours are Tuesdays to Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Sundays, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., while it will be closed on Mondays. Camila Guare, TVWAN News, Lay.
Prime Minister James Marape has tabled the 2024 audited financial accounts of the Mineral Resources Development Company in Parliament yesterday. He highlighted the company's growth to 14.5 billion kina in assets, while outlining the next phase of reforms to further strengthen governance, accountability, and long-term wealth creation for Papua New Guinea's resource project landowners.
The Prime Minister has described MRDC's growth over the past 2 decades as one of Papua New Guinea's greatest corporate success stories, from managing assets worth approximately 500 million kina in 2007. MRDC has today grown into a 14.5 billion kina enterprise. He said this has been achieved in less than 20 years and demonstrates the value of disciplined investment, prudent financial management, and a long-term vision for growing landowner wealth.
This is extraordinary. The future looks good. This company, for a record, owns 15% of BHP, owns 33% of PIH, owns 80% plus of Airlines PNG. A few years back, Airlines PNG was being liquidated. MRDC pick it up, run it. Today, they have a 3% cancellation rate in our country, buying new planes as we speak.
The Prime Minister commended the MRDC board, management, and staff for their stewardship of landowner investments and their success in diversifying into commercial investments beyond the traditional mining and petroleum sectors. He also announced that the government would proceed with the second phase of MRDC's corporate reforms to position the organization for even greater growth.
MRDC owns 50% of the Pasca oil and gas project in Gulf of Papua. So this is landowners' fund being put into investment project, in mining projects, in airlines project, in hospital project, in hotels project, truly diversifying. They're looking now also to move to Kokopo. Member for Kokopo, I want to thank you for your leadership and governor to make sure they work to partner East New Britain Development Limited to pick up investment in Kokopo, East New Britain also as part of the country.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
And now the finance report. The kina closed lower at 0.2274 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying 0.2199 US dollars, 0.3119 Australian dollars, 0.1846 euro, and 35.44 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold, palm oil, and crude oil closed higher, while coffee, cocoa, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues when we come back. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Oh, what a game this has been. With a minute to go, it all comes down to this.
And here they come. They go wide. Passes to Becky. He juggles. Kicks it. Who will get there? No Cara. He's over. What a try. Oh, the emotions are flowing. Jubilation. Ecstasy. What a game.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
Use Savitu Awesome Condom and Wambla way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Ting him, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you, or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banis him you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins for visibly less hair breakage after retouching. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Mega Growth Anti-Damage No Light Cream Relaxer for visibly less hair breakage after retouching.
Ready for the world, so is your Visa Visa card. Visa keeps you moving wherever you go, Papua New Guinea or abroad. Seamlessly pay for travel, dining, online shopping. Easily access your funds and instantly track your expenses. Every tap comes with security, trust, and peace of mind. Unlock the world of possibilities. And it all starts with the new TISA Visa card.
Thanks for staying with us. The PNG Defence Force has activated 2 system controls in Alaska that guard against duplicate payments, incorrect position occupancy, and unauthorized payroll movements. On Tuesday, 7th July 2026, the PNGDF officially launched the 1 person, 1 position, 1 pay, and 1 position occupancy link system controls at Murray Barracks. Chief of Defence Rear Admiral Philip Polewara said those controls will now restrict multiple occupants from being assigned to a single position and align positions with the approved organizational structure. He said the activation of the system controls is part of the payroll reform the PNGDF has undertaken since 2024 following the PNGDF pay glitch. Fresh Produce Development Authority have signed a memorandum of understanding with the New Ireland provincial government on a 3-year partnership program to support the government of the horticulture hub subsector in New Ireland province. The MOU has signed by was signed by Chief Executive Officer for FPDA, Mark Warinu, and Governor for New Ireland, Byron Chen, in Port Moresby today.
The Fresh Produce Development Authority has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the New Ireland Provincial Government to plan, organize, implement, monitor, and evaluate the horticulture development and expansion project to eventual rehabilitation, planting, marketing, and sales of horticulture sector in New Ireland Province. The partnership program will support farmers and other supply chain players with agriculture extension and training, establish cold storage facilities, and provide market access for New Ireland fresh produce. Governor for New Ireland, Byron Chen, when giving his speech, thanked FPDA for the agreement and committed to support FPDA to see the project become a reality and support the people of New Ireland.
For too long, our farmers have been producing in isolation, and this agreement brings technical support, market access, and coordination that our farmers have been asking for. It also is very timely ahead of PNG's 50th anniversary, and we want to showcase that New Ireland can feed itself and supply other provinces.
According to the agreement, a New Ireland provincial government will help mobilize a state land in the province to establish potato certified seeds farm and secure a land to set up a nursery for other crops and to establish a germplasm collection facility. The provincial government will also secure land at Kavieng and Namatanai towns for setting up cool storage facilities which can be operated as business owned by the New Ireland provincial government. It is also agreed that New Ireland provincial government will contribute 1 million kina funding assistance for the first year, together with other program assets, including program staff, with $500,000 for the next 2 years as required for the effective implementation of the project. The allocated project funds will be jointly disbursed and administered by FPDA. Chief Executive Officer for FPDA, Mark Warinu, says New Ireland has so much potential in the horticulture industry but never given the opportunity. Therefore, he said FPDA has stepped in to assist and help farmers with their produce.
New Ireland provincial government, one of the provincial governments has got the priority on agriculture, and that is the direction of the government today. All government agencies are asked to promote agriculture. This government wants us to promote agriculture because of the fact that vast majority of our people depends primarily on agriculture for livelihoods and for export crops. And we in the Fresh Produce Development Agency, we feel that we represent 90% of the Indian population as possible. So fresh produce and horticulture industry, safety nets for PNG.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
The Department of Education has transferred 2 major administrative powers to the autonomous Bougainville government. Education Secretary Dr. Uke Kombra announced this during the opening of the 35th Senior Education Officers Conference at Fujena Secondary School in Buka on Monday, July 13th.
Students accompanied by their teachers from primary, secondary, and vocational schools from the north, central, and southern parts of Bougainville turned up for the opening ceremony and performed traditional music and dances that kept the guests as well as the crowd on their toes until midday. Held under the theme Leading Quality Teaching and Learning Through Partnership, the historic week-long national gathering marks a profound milestone in the region's ongoing political and administrative journey. At the opening of the conference, the National Department of Education Secretary Dr. Uke Kombra confirmed the transfer of 2 major educational functions from the national government to the Bougainville Department of Education, which are the school registration and compliance functions and the distribution of tuition fee subsidies to its schools. a responsibility previously centralized at the national level. The two administrative functions that the Bougainville Department of Education will manage independently are school registration and compliance. The ABG will now audit local school standards, identify prospective institutions, and approve new school registrations directly with the Teaching Services Commission. Tuition fee funding. The ABG will directly manage and oversee the distribution of tuition fee funds to local schools, replacing the previous centralized national payment system. The conference is a launching pad for several comprehensive national educational reforms designed to eliminate student dropouts and ensure equitable access to education. The national government remains ready to devolve remaining powers such as curriculum inspections and examinations as soon as the region is prepared to receive them. The conference will continue throughout the week as education leaders deliberate on national policies and build frameworks intended to shape the classrooms of PNG and Bougainville for the decades to come. Jasmine Erojak, TVWAN News.
3 boxes of children's books, stationery, computer sets for school, clinic and medical supplies were donated to Dorobisoro Village, a trekking project in Central Province recently. Ghost Mountain Expedition, a new tourism initiative under PNG Tribal Foundation, is working closely with Australian trekker Peter Gamgee and with the generous support of the Blackhall Range Lions Club, Queensland, Australia, to make this donation.
The Tribal Foundation donated cartons of children's reading books and stationery to serve more than 300 students in Dorobisoro Community School. Brigade District Health Coordinator Shinisha Silam confirmed a box of antibiotics and a Kula Eski of vaccination for all women, including pregnant mothers and children aged 7 and above. Community health worker Elijah Lofulo said there were a lot of challenges faced with basic medical treatment for locals over the years, but since the supply they got from Peter Gamgee and Tribal Foundation has helped them improve a lot in treating patients.
Mibla must look at more than 1,000 plus sick man finish some outpatient, maybe up to 200 the beginning Mibla vaccinating too, which 1 quarter blow or new beginning we all not been immunization. Also, Bell Mama, we are looking good plan number, up to 50 Bell Mama.
All vaccination kept inside the fridge can help them continue treating patients. The newly appointed headmaster of the Dorobisoro Community School, Thomas Whitney, said the laptop and printer with books will help sustain good learning for students in the remote village. The school was reopened in January since its closure 4 years ago. He is looking forward to rebuilding the schools to Rigo District school standards. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
That ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Always on WhatsApp? Then this is your style of banking with TISA. Check your account balance or even chat with a TISA bank agent. Get started today by following these simple steps. 1. Save TISA Bank's official WhatsApp number in your phone. 2. Open WhatsApp and send a simple hi. 3. Follow the menu to start banking. It's that easy. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
Tambo tru Lonkarim o Salim na Simokin. Marijuana or all drugs, no good ikam lo overseas, or some cocaine or crystal meth. Nupla law or likolim Controlled Substances Act 2021 by making sawe lo you lo baim court fine enough money mark enough lo 2 million kina or go life year calabus. This la talk sawe ikam long National Narcotics Bureau. One time Halivim, Bilam Australia, Papua New Guinea Law na Justice Partnership.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Are you a Superfund member?
Then here's a super offer from Brian Bell.
This month only, all Number One Super and NASFund members get double discounts store-wide, nationwide at Brian Bell Group stores.
At home centres, trade electrical, chemicals, agriculture and industrial.
Grab 30% off a huge range of amazing products.
Use your Superfund member card to unlock great savings.
Fly into Brian Bell stores now and double your discounts.
Terms and conditions apply.
Every growing child needs the best care to help them grow physically, socially, intellectually, and emotionally. That's why I choose Tender Care. It keeps skin clean and fresh and is hypoallergenically tested for gentle and safe protection. So my child can be protected for all of life's adventures. Tender Care.
From our homes, where every morning starts with a taste we all love. A taste that holds memories and shared stories. A taste that can bring friends together. Made with care and loved in every corner of PNG. Inspired by our champions and rooted by our family values. Snacks, so crunchy and tasty, it's irresistible.
It is World Cup Rugby League. How good is it to be back united?
And they're serving up some brilliant entertainment here because this is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic from Jimmy Notley.
He's playing for his family and his country. PNG! They will run through brick walls, I told you that! My goodness! Real festival.
Finding Schneider, tipped on by Farnworth. What a pickup to beat the Nafahu. Now he's held up. Smith deep into the line. Simon Smith comes through. Has Graham. Graham with a run to the line. Getting the pass to one into right side. Oh my God, what a pass. Ridiculous. Hughes, the high kick. Surely. Yes, sir. Will Warbrick gets another try.
In sports, West Tigers superstar Jerome Luai has agreed to terms with the Parramatta Eels on a stopover deal before he embarks on his journey to Papua New Guinea. As expected, the Tigers 5'8" is set to ink up with the Parramatta Eels on a one-year deal to partner Mitchell Moses in 2027.
Jerome Luai has a new club. He has locked in the Eels' move. According to Cold Sports, the Eels will pay $700,000 of Luai's $1.2 million contract next year. That means the Tigers will chip in $500,000. Eels General Manager of Football Mark O'Neill was full of praise for Luai in a club statement, lauding that professional and consistency he will bring to Parramatta. O'Neill said Jerome is one of the most experienced and successful players of his generation, and his record speaks for itself. Rugby Australia also showed interest in Luai, who will join the PNG Chiefs for their inaugural 2028 season. But before he becomes the face of the NRL's soon-to-be newest franchise, Luai will look to lead the Eels back to the promised land, linking up with former State of Origin teammate Mitchell Moses. Eels coach Jason Riles said the team has a clear strategy that they're working towards, considering the young players they have. The Tigers will release Luai at the end of the year to prioritize their young talent, including the Fainu brothers. Jasmine Irojak, TVWAN Sports.
PNG Chiefs have confirmed they are in talks with former Parramatta Eels and Dragons winger Zach Lomax for 2028. The Chiefs have confirmed this today as they wait for his club to tour in the coming weeks. The PNG Chiefs is confident it can secure the signature of former Origin star who is now playing rugby union with Western Force in Australia.
From St George Illawarra.
Lomax quit rugby league last year and joined the Western Force in March 2026 on a 2-year deal. But with growing interest from NRL clubs including PNG Chiefs, the former Origin and Test star is expected to return to the league. According to source closest to the Chiefs, should the Chiefs secure Lomax service, he will become Chiefs 005, joining the high-profile recruits for the club ahead of 2028 NRL entry. The other big-name players already signed with the Chiefs include Jerome Luai, Alex Johnston, Connor Watson and Matty Lees. Lomax was heavily linked with the Melbourne Storm as the Rugby League's most successful club faces backline crisis this season, but the Chiefs remain confident in Lomax. The Chiefs have also refuted claims that they had made a play for Penrith Panthers hooker Mitch Kenny. The EGMA Gurus have congratulated Gurus women team star player Cynthia Peter on her outstanding achievement of being selected as one of only 5 players from Papua New Guinea to participate in the 2026 NRL Rising Talent Invitational in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia.
Cynthia Peters' latest selection is a testament to her dedication, hard work and passion for the game. The Guria franchise are proud to see another Guria player representing both club and Papua New Guinea on the international stage. Cynthia is a co-captain of the Eastern Britain EGMA Guria's women's team in the Santos Cup. She has also represented PNG Rugby Union team before switching back to rugby league last year. Cynthia, who plays 5'8", takes this exciting step forward in her rugby league journey. While still being an active member of the Guria's women's franchise, Cynthia took charge of the NGI Academy female team as head coach to this year's PNG RFL Academy competition. Cynthia is grateful for the opportunity as she continues to inspire the next generation of female players. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The next edition of the 2026 PNG RFL Academy program is scheduled to kick off in November 2026 with four new centers likely to be added. Currently, there are 8 existing academies.
Following visits to 8 new locations across the Highlands, Northern and New Guinea Islands regions, PNG RFL Academy Operations Manager Raymond Aro said there has been overwhelming interest from across the regions. However, he stressed that strict guidelines and requirements must be met before any center can be considered for the next 22 weeks program. From the 8 provinces assessed, 4 centers, Chiwaka, Simbu, Wewak and Medang, have tentatively met the required criteria. However, a full assessment report, including recommendations, has now been submitted to the PNG RFL Academy Committee for final vetting before an official announcement is made. Under the PNG RFL Academy program structure and requirements, its center must already have an existing schools program in place before it can qualify for consideration. Funded by the Australian government, the Academy Schools Pathway Program is a structured 22-week talent identification and training pathway for young female and male rugby league players across Papua New Guinea. Key events during the 2026 season included the Year 7 and 8 National Championship. At present, the Academy operates across 8 regions: Port Moresby, Central, Goroka, Mount Hagen, Lae, Kerama, Kokopo and Wabag. The addition of 4 new centers to the program this year will bring the total to 12 academies.
So there's an interest to grow the schools rugby league, and the interest among school teachers and schools to work together with various stakeholders in the province to make sure that schools rugby league is active so that they can have that opportunity to play rugby league. We're still set for November, as usual. We kick off in November again for this year, and we go for the next 22 weeks, and then have the championships and the matches that will come about. So we're looking ahead for that will be with the additionals that are coming in. Yeah.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The World Cup always inspires people, young and old, to hit the pitch again. But what if you can't run? or leap the way you used to. Well, then there's walking football.
Go Rookie!
The beautiful game for all to play.
Alex! Woo!
After I came back after the first session, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face.
They say there's about 50 different rules, but the main ones, obviously, as the title suggests, walking football. So you've always got to have one foot on the ground at all times.
The game is also on a smaller pitch with fewer players.
No contact. We keep the ball down below waist height. No heading off the ball. You can't tackle from behind.
And while the aim remains to score, there are bigger goals.
I don't get hurt here. In 11-side, in normal soccer, you're allowed to push and shove and all of that, and I'm a very gentle person.
Walking football was the first aerobic-style exercise I've done in over 20 years.
Around the world, they do it for all ages, people with disability.
Robert Johnson has had 4 strokes.
It's wide-ranging in terms of health. I reckon a lot of it is when you're playing, you're always looking for that next pass. So your brain's trying to work out the angles for it. And it's helped.
This game is actually kind of fast-paced, a lot of high-level passing, but it doesn't have to be this way. There are different divisions that can go at a slower pace as well.
Walking or not though, teamwork and triumph feels the same.
Yeah!
It's just made a huge difference.
I always thought at my age, what can I compete in? But yeah, I found something.
The feeling of kicking a goal is still the same when you're 74 as it was when you were 15.
That's it for sports. Now the weather forecast. In regional forecast, Southern Port Moresby partly cloudy, Alatau partly cloudy with light showers, drizzles. Mamase, all centers partly cloudy, except Ley, clear skies to partly cloudy. New Guinea Islands, all centers partly cloudy, except Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. And Highlands region, Mandi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with showers in the afternoon and evening. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours, Coral and Solomon Seas. Seas moderate to rough with southeast winds at 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 33 knots at times. Bismarck Sea, seas moderate to rough, slight over the northwestern sector, with southeast winds at 20 to 33 knots, reducing to 5 to 50 knots over the northwestern sector. Pacific Ocean, seas moderate to rough with south to southwest winds at 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 33 knots at times over northwestern sector. And coastal waters forecast, waters of Finsafen through Vitiaz and Dampier Straits to Siasi and Long Island to West New Britain, seas 2 to 3 meters, rising to 3.5 meters at times. Waters of East New Britain and New Island to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters over warning areas. And that wraps another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Good night.